more drift capable. A seat will hold you into the car very well and very controlled, and that is what's going to give you the control to be able to drive your car throughout the course. You're not going to be banging into the door panel or the console and bruising up your knees, and you're actually going to be able to feel the car and be able to control the wheel instead of hang on to it. Thirdly, I say get a set of coilovers because that's going to lower your center of gravity, it's going to stiffen up the chassis, take a lot of that slop out, and make it a lot easier to control through the corners. And you can always go cheap and just get something that's going to get you out there and on the track and a little better than a blown out stock suspension. But it's one of those mods that's going to last you a long time. So I always say at least spring for a mid-level package. Try not to get the cheapest, absolute worst setup right off the shelf. Get something that's a little nicer that's going to last you a lot longer than just a few days at the track.
Next question is from Poop on the Second. This question was, if you could take any unorthodox car and make it a drift machine, what would you choose? I don't know how unorthodox it would be, but I think it would be super cool to take one of the WRC rally cars, make it rear-wheel drive, which I'm sure you could do very easily, and then blast around on those things. Obviously put a steering kit in the front end and just have at it. Those cars I think are some of the coolest on the planet, and would be super rad to have that kind of quality build, you know, $1 million car build kind of scenario as a drift car. So that'd be my bet.
All right, next question we got from Jacob Levicki. He asks, when you are doing a swap, how do you deal with an electric system and gearbox? I did 2 swaps myself, and those 2 things were the worst for me. Yeah, those are definitely 2 things that are going to make a swap difficult, which is why on our setup we went with the SR20 because it is available in that chassis and it does all bolt up. So it makes doing that swap at home very easy. However, not too many people want to go with something that's just a straight bolt-in. They're doing something custom, maybe a V8, maybe a straight 6. And depending on the chassis you have, there are a lot of companies that make bolt-in kits for those engines. So if you're new to this, I recommend sticking with something that's already pre-made so you're not getting too far into the build and spending a lot of time just getting your car to run instead of spending time out at the track. And with that, there's a lot of things you can learn online. There's a lot of people that post up how to do the wiring. There's also kits that you can buy that have pre-made engine harnesses for specific chassis. You can check some of those out online. And there's also a couple guys, depending on the engine that you have, that make adapter plates to put on different transmissions on the back of these engines. One of the most popular ones is the 350Z transmission, which is very strong and widely available. You can put them on the back of SR20s, KAs, V8s even. I think I've seen even adapters for super engines. And so, the best thing to do is try and find the parts that you need before you start your build so you're not working backwards and wasting a lot of time just trying to get the thing to run.
Next question is from TCMJ Media. Hey Ryan Turk, what would you say is the #1 essential modification to do when swapping a 1JZ into a chassis? Thanks. I'd say the #1 modification you need to do for the JZs is just make sure that you got your cooling system done properly. And when you're swapping a JZ engine into a 4-cylinder chassis, there's not a lot of room in the front because of the extra 2 cylinders being an inline 6. So it makes it really difficult to get a good big radiator in there with a proper fan to be able to cool the thing. So that's something I've struggled with in the past. Things are pretty sorted now. We got Nameless Performance on the job with Mishimoto to really keep our pro cars super cool, and I'm doing the same thing to the Street FRS. We also have Mishimoto in a GT4586 car, so that thing is done properly. And even my S13, I just installed a Mishimoto radiator with a proper set of Mishimoto 12-inch race fans that have done a phenomenal job. So for JZs, they can handle a lot of heat, but you don't want to do that because then you're just gonna it's gonna lessen its life expectancy, and you might run into some issues. So I'd say just make sure you measure out and get a proper cooling system in your JZ.
All right, next question is from Georgi Leliushvili. I believe I got that close. So, at what point of upgrades would you recommend forging the pistons, crankshaft, and rods? I've heard that pistons melt on SRs at around 400 horsepower. Now, the biggest thing about engines and their reliability is what I always say, and that is a good tune and a good ECU to control it. And so for our setup, we went with a Apex Power FC. This is actually the same ECU I run on my Datsun, same ECU I run on my Nissan 240SX with the KA, and they're both professionally tuned, and that makes a huge difference on what kind of abuse your engine can take. So yeah, there's a couple guys that have melted pistons even at 250 horsepower, you know, because they don't have the right air-fuel mixture, their engine runs a little hot, and they burn those pistons down. And you can also have a mistake like what happened to Drift Idiot, where his vacuum line fell off, overboosted, melted a piston. So those are all very common things that can happen. But if you have a good engine and a good tune, and obviously a good tuner to control that ECU, then you can actually get upwards of 500 horsepower, about 400 wheel safely on an SR20. I've done it before, many people have done it, and some guys that actually push it a little further than that. I wouldn't recommend it. So if you're going to be going over 400 wheel horsepower, I would definitely recommend getting forged internals.
All right, next question is from Steve Brown. Are you running stock rear knuckles on this? If so, what are you doing with the rubber bushings in there? As for my idiot moment, get clutch and flywheel on SR20, only to remember your dust shield is still under the car. That happens to the best of us. You just forget certain things sometimes, and then you have to do the job all over again. That's a real idiot moment that should definitely teach you to never do that again in the future. Now to get to your question, we are running stock knuckles on the rear of Drift Idiot's S14. The bushings, I think they were stock. I don't know, Chris did the work on that thing, so I can't remember. But you can do upgraded bushings. I think Energy Suspension supplies them for relatively cheap costs, so check it out if that's what you need.
From Thomas E, who says, all of those parts gave me a warm fuzzy feeling. Can you do a brief overview of what you want to do to that gorgeous Datsun? So that Datsun's actually not going to be some crazy race car build for me. It's not going to turn into this Datsun and just be like a half street, half track car. It's actually being built for my wife, which is why it's going to be just a nice, fun, easy street car. It's going to have some airbags, some nice suspension, new brakes, new interior to make it a lot more enjoyable, a lot safer, and more drivable. So the biggest reason why I wanted to do airbags is because I want to have the thing sitting nice and low, but still be able to raise up and drive around and be just very easy to get around as a daily driver. The new seats and seat belts and everything else to make it a little more safe, getting that old, outdated half-back seats and lap belts out of that thing. And the suspension from Techno Toy Tuning is very much on point, getting rid of all the sloppy stock bushings and putting in adjustable control arms, adjustable coilovers, and a whole new braking system from Willwood Brakes. So that thing's gonna be sweet. I'm looking forward to getting that thing out on the street and having a good time with it.
All right, last and final question from Rolo Rods. Quick question for y'all out there. I have a 1999 Camaro RS with no engine. I'm thinking about putting an LS1, SR20, 1JZ VVTi. Which one do y'all think would be good? And if you prefer a different motor, let me know. I'd say I'd stick with the LS. You know, that's an engine that probably came in that car, and it'd be a lot easier to swap it in. There's plenty of room, everything is gonna fit. There's more factory bolt holes to use. You don't have to custom do engine mounts, transmission mounts, and everything else. So I'd say stick with the LS1 for that car, and if you get sick of it, do something else. All right, guys, that is it for this Drift Response Season 4.
Thank you very much for sending those in, and please keep watching and commenting. We love hearing from you guys.
The new episode is coming out very soon, so stay tuned to Network A, and we'll see you then.
Welcome back to another season of Drift Garage. In previous years, we've built everything from a twin-turbo Nissan 370Z to this custom all-purpose Titan truck, and even an anti-lag street Toyota 86. And we're going back to our roots and rebuilding this beat-up and broken-down 20-year-old Nissan 240SX. And while we're at it, we're also going to be building this 1972 Datsun 510 wagon. But this time, we're going to be wrenching in a regular old home garage, my garage. So there you have it, just a couple of old cars with some simple mods being built in the regular garage by a regular guy. And the best part about it is, I got my good buddy Ryan Turk to help me every step of the way.
Wait, what?
This car we're about to build is owned by a real idiot. Drift idiot. No, it's this jerk.
He bought it as a mildly prepared drift car and did a couple mods himself, did an SR20 swap.
Which is a good move.
Yeah, no, it's a good motor. And, you know, he made a whole web series about not knowing how to build a drift car, and he did a wonderful job at explaining that because we have a real mess in our hands.
Well, before we start working on his car, let's watch this turd.
That's right. Shame. 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 Shame.
Yeah, Forsberg, good coverage.
Shame.
Good coverage. Shame. We are debranding some terrible stylized vinyl that was put on this car.
I don't know, it looked pretty good to me.
Using a heat gun usually helps, so you save your fingernails.
This would not be my first color choice at all.
Way to be real nice about it.
Yeah, this is a pretty awful shade of blue. All right, well, let's see what we got ourselves into.
We got a hood that looks like absolute garbage. The latch is closed, so only half the hood shuts.
Don't look at that too long. Just open up. We're throwing all this out. Looks like a blown motor.
The intercooler hole through the fender well here looks really good and rusty.
Yeah, it looks like you cut that up with a fork. And missing a couple of pipes, but you know, hopefully those are in the trunk so we can put this thing back together. I think I can see this broken hose down here, the culprit. That's that blown motor.
You should also get legit hose if you're gonna run it next to a very hot manifold and turbo.
Yep, I wonder why that didn't last. This cage is pretty rusty. Definitely should have painted that before we put all his interior back in.
I mean, you should really focus on safety and get some legit padding up here.
There it is.
There it is.
That's a pull needle. But, well, at least we found those missing pipes. So we're gonna get this motor fixed right up. No problem. Well, there you have it. Turk, you ordered the parts, right?
Yeah, of course I ordered the parts. Parts here.
Parts? Parts. So let's break down the parts list. Starting in the back of the car, we're going to replace all of the arms with fully adjustable units and also get rid of all those rubber bushings.
We're going to be replacing a blown out coilovers that are currently on the car with something that's a lot more adjustable.
Moving inside of the car, we're going to update the cockpit with a new steering wheel, shift knob, and handbrake, and a fresh set of seats and harnesses.
Since the car is getting a power upgrade, we're going to replace the stock clutch and flywheel with a stronger one. We're going to replace the blown motor with a fresh one and upgrade the turbo, cams, and boost controller.
To handle that extra power, we're going to replace the ECU with an aftermarket unit and an upgraded fuel system.
With More power, there's more heat, so we're going to upgrade the coolant system with a bigger radiator, bigger fans, and an oil cooler.
And finally, to make this turd look better, we're going to add a carbon fiber hood, wider fenders, and a bigger wheel and tire package to fill them out.
Well, first things first, we are replacing this blown motor that probably has a massive hole in the side of the piston.
Probably, yeah, right down through that thing. Yeah, we decided to keep it with the SR because, you know, common misconception is you need a big motor, big power to go drifting.
Right.
And we want to show that you can do it with, you know, a simple, cheap setup, and it's actually going to be a lot more drivable, at least I feel, with the smaller engine in the car.
Absolutely. I mean, coming from a JZ guy, where I have, you know, JZ in an S chassis, an S13, JZ in my FRSs. I love the big power inline 6-cylinder that the 2JZ produces. A really solid engine setup, but I mean, there are other factors involved, you know. There's the engine weighs a lot more.
Definitely.
It costs a lot more to swap into a car than an SR from an S13.
Yeah, and if you're gonna put a big motor in that, you know, you're adding a lot of weight to the front, but on those pro builds, guys are putting a lot of the weight in the back. They're shifting things around to make their car more balanced. As a grassroots guy going to weekend events, you know, you're adding 2 more cylinders up here. You're really cramming up against the radiator. You're just adding more weight, more heat, less room for fans.
That is the one biggest pain in the ass
Your
with
car
the
always
JZ
overheats.
motors. Isn't it? Overheat all the time. It's probably one of the worst things that I have to deal with when I go to local events. I just want to spin some hot laps around the track. It's just I'd pull off every lap and have to freaking wet the damn radiator down half the time just because my radiator's in the front. You just can't get enough cooling in the front there to spin hot laps.
And the other option being a V8, it's the same thing. It adds a lot of weight and a lot of cost. And I feel it's a little unnecessary for a guy that's learning how to drift and trying to go out and just have a good time.
Absolutely. They're all pretty reliable scenarios. The SR people feel a little shaky on because of the rocker setup and the valve train maybe.
Well, I mean, this is the engine we're going with, an SR20. I feel like it's the best setup for his skill level, so let's rip this hunk of crap out.
Let's get to it, man.
Well, we're back for another season of Drift Garage, and I'm pretty pumped on this project.
Going good so far, but I'm sure we're gonna hit some roadblocks.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
So if you got any questions about a motor swap,
Or any questions at all, leave them in the comments below, and also tell us about your idiot moment.
This is a hard-fought battle, door to door. Insane run right now. It is a dogfight. And there it is, folks. Chris Forsberg is your 2016 Formula Drift champion.
There still is some rain in the forecast for the rest of the afternoon, so for the remainder of the afternoon, we will have an open practice session for all drivers to get used to these conditions.
Not getting as deep in that touch to go, but wow! Oh, doctor, look at that! Mad Mike spins into the rear clipping zone, makes the correction as Chelsea Denofa passes Forsberg. Who's gonna be first place here in the streets of Long Beach? And your winner is Chelsea Denofa! Chelsea Denofa is your winner here in Long Beach.
There we go, Chelsea Denofa, our points leader. Falls down. Looks like, unfortunately, Denofa could be broken there. Oh my goodness, Pollock. Both these guys, bragging rights between friends. But even more so, they want to get on the podium. Bonkin Jr. right there, door to door with Dio Shihara. Two veterans of the sport, two former champions. Bonkin Jr. grabbing the win here at round 2, Road Atlanta. Look at Odie right there, blending into his door, shredding some fiberglass. Whoa, buddy! Oh, Merdaunt goes into him. Frederick Osbo, the strong, solid, straight line initiation. Frederick Osbo, once again, finds the crease and dials it in. But look at Frederick Osbo pulling away. Nice job by Osbo, McCory. Great angle from Forsberg. Blues throwing some more angle at it. Coming off the bank. Frederick Osbo throws it into the bank. Look at Christoph Blues. Can he get that #1 spot? Frederick Osbo cuts through the smoke. Blues maxes out the angle. Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, is your winner here in Orlando. Bonkin Jr. high on the bank. Look at Kristaps, absolutely attacking like a maniac. Oh no, Pat Merdaunt for a swing. Throws it in, Forsberg falling down there quite a bit, coming now into that first front clip. And look at this, Chris Forsberg gets the win.
After Jersey, I was really frustrated. I wasn't seeing eye to eye with the judgment call and what was going on with the direction that I saw Formula Drift going. But, you know, I got obligations to sponsors, to teammates, and I really just decided I got to come back and finish off this year at least. And, you know, I'm trying to work through it and, you know, give the judges what they want to see.
Ryan Turk throttling through, smashing the throttle. Look at Gucci right there on the door of Turk. Michael Essa going hard at Chris Forsberg. Bonkin Jr. sticking it to the wall. Chris Forsberg right there. Wow, Vaughn narrowly escaping some contact there. Bonkin Jr. grabs the win in his Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR. Wang sheds his back bumper, big angle here, Stoneback really off course here. Oh wow, and Justin Pollock getting to the side of Bonkin Jr. Wow, some big flames. Kaufman not all the way out to that rear clipping zone. Frederick Osbo mimicking him. Ryan Turk, Chris Forsberg doing battle. It's a dogfight. Chris Forsberg giving him the French press here. Ryan Turk firing off. Chris Forsberg ducking in the smoke. Forsberg into the wall. Looks like he almost made contact just out of camera shot. Man, these guys, this is an all-out battle. Make some noise, Formula Drift world. And there it is, it's unanimous. Chris Forsberg gets the win. Brake lines being tapped there by both the... Oh, and Forrest Wang exploding that wing off his car. Osbo showing some dominance here, but Odie Bakshi's, look at that, a big flick around that final clip. A big gap between the guys. Vaughn Jr. gets into the wall. A quick disruption of the vehicle, but back on the throttle. Getting into that rear touch and go is Forsberg, filling the rear zone. And Frederick Osbo is near flawless, chasing him down. Frederick Osbo getting the victory here at St. Eustache. Whoa, Gucci drops in. Wow, Ryan Turk goes into the wall. Oh, and Alex Hilbert goes in on the inside. Moen gets it out there. Tyler McCory explodes. Not only his bumper, but his rear trunk makes him, oh, Doctor! McCory goes hard into Kenny Moen. Out to that touch and go. Big, nasty transition by Bakshis. Absolutely throws the back end in of that vehicle. Matt Coffin initiates in the bank. Nice job by Garrity. Look at him right there. Mirroring him. Coffin throws some more angle at a drag at the wall. Come on, Seattle. Shutting it down is Goosh. Good transition. Look at that. Into formation. It's a dogfight here between Bakshis and Gucci. Who's going to get the win? Gucci's already got third. Bakshis pulling away from Forsberg. Bakshis into the wall. Nice job by Odie. Coming down now into the power alley. Forsberg right there, and he comes in too hard. And now your winner here at round 6 of the Formula Drift Championship, Odie Bakshis. Odie Bakshis gets the win. Look at Matt Field right there on the door of this Volkswagen Passat. Tyler McCory, big angle. Wow. And now die jumping up. Whoa, narrowly escaping. Osbo nosing in. Dean Carnage coming in hard, and we got contact. Field surging attack, and Vaughn Jr. spins out. Ryan Turk now way off course. Osbo zeroing in. Osbo making his presence felt here in Texas. Osbo bringing it into that front clip. Osbo, a big mistake by Osbo. The winner's going to the finals. Here we go. Matt Field throwing it in. Christos Blues taking a very wide line. Unfamiliar territory for Blues. As Blues all over the course. Lauderdale Forsberg taking out that front clip into that second rear clipping zone. Lauderdale ripping out of the set. Whoa! Lauderdale going off course. Matt Field out front. Chris Forsberg giving chase. Field initiate into that first rear clipping zone. Forsberg closing the door and banging doors. And there it is. Forsberg pushes too hard as Field. Can Field keep it together? Your winner here at Texas Motor Speedway is Matt Field. Matt Field gets the win, his first ever Formula Drift win. Vaughn Jr. out front, initiating. Oh, and Vaughn Jr. hit into the wall. Vaughn goes into the wall. Big angle from Gucci. How's that going to pay off? Oh, my goodness. Yoshihara looking dialed. Precision driving from him. Man, Yoshihara is just flawless at this point. Here we go into that first front flip. Verdon and Forsberg right there. Oh, and Forsberg on the wall. An unbelievable turn of events. Here we go. Matt Field, Frederick Osbo, championship implications on the line. Matt Field throwing into that second rear clipping zone. Some wobbling into the second. Frederick Osbo poised. Right there on the door. Look at Osbo closing in.
Oh,
We're
man.
seeing some contact firing off. What just happened as everybody is watching this battle and what's going down. If Frederick Osbo loses here, Chris Forsberg is your 2016 Formula Drift champion. Brian says Matt Field and Chris Forsberg is your 2016 Formula Drift champion. Here we go. Tyler McCory throws it in. Welcome out. Here we are, round 2 of the Pro 2 Championship. Atlanta, make some noise. This is the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship, not only Pro, but Pro 2 as well. The second round, the third round of the Pro Championship. And we're about to introduce you to our top 16 drivers. We have some hardcore fans sticking it out. Some rain earlier, but now it looks like we got great conditions as we're seeing a lot of the drivers come up and greet these hectic fans. So without further ado, if you would, please stand for the national anthem. And remove your hats.
See what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, let's introduce you to our top 16 drivers here at Pro 2, round 2 of the Pro 2 Championship. Starting off with our #1 qualifying driver. He is in the Shango Nexen Tires BMW all the way from Las Vegas. #1 qualifier, Danny George. Up next after him, Committed Auto Services Achilles Radial S chassis vehicle from North Carolina, Austin Meeks. Moving on down the line, you can see the IAS on the side of the S14. He's number 142, Randall Waters. All right, moving on down the line, again from Vancouver, British Columbia, the S14.5, Brody Goebel. He got on the podium at Orlando. He's from Washington, nameless performance, Achilles Radial S13. He is Travis Reeder. Coming all the way from Southern California, he is in the car number 888. It is Spike Chen. As it says on the side of his vehicle, he's from Nashville. He competes in MDU. Hey, he's just Human Rahimi. A vehicle that was prepared here in Atlanta, Georgia. Koru Works 350Z, easy for me to say. MDU champion, it is Alec Robbins. Another driver coming all the way from California, Achilles Radial Hately E30. It is Andy Hately. Moving on down the line, he's on Achilles Radial Lingenfelter Corvette, the Stratton Chevrolet, number 33, the Dagger, Dirk Stratton. Keeping it international fair and Pro 2 as well. Coming to us from Budapest, Sylvester Drift Team, it is Sylvester Gorgi. And a newcomer here to Pro 2 competition from Vallejo, he is number 55, Nick Filippi. The Drift-O-Matic, the bright orange S chassis from Marysville, Washington, it is Matt Van Kirk. Another international driver coming to us from Norway, a vehicle formerly piloted by Formula Drift champion Frederick Osbo, car number 153 from Norway, Ola Jaeger. Coming all the way from the land down under, we're talking about Perth, Australia. He's in the Ute. You scratch your head, what is that vehicle? He got on the podium in Orlando. Can he do it again? It is Josh Robinson. And last but definitely not least, the camo-colored Ford Mustang on Nexen Tires, number 999, Trenton Beecham.
There are your top 16 drivers. Road Atlanta, are you ready to send it? Here for round 2 of the Pro 2 Championship. And this is round 3 of the Formula Drift Blackmagic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras, AKA the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. I'm Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage with me. We're gonna get some insight from one of the judges, Ryan Lontaine. Lorette Nickel will be joining us tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us out here. An iconic track, 14 years we've been coming here. History will be made tonight. Once again, these Pro 2 drivers running and gunning for an effort in the Pro Championship as well. Let's party here under the lights at Road Atlanta.
So here we go, real quick as we bring in Ryan Lontaine. Ryan, just quickly as we go over some of the judging criteria, can you just give us a quick overview of the track as it's laid out here, some of the key points, and also what you guys are looking for into head-to-head matchups?
You can see here we have 5 scored areas from qualifying. Those 5 scored areas are still going to be very important here in tandem. So we have inside clip 1, it's outside zone 1, outside zone 2, inside clip 2, and then inside clip 3. You can see the Excel decel map here up on the screen now. Where it's red, that means we are allowing drivers, and the chase drivers should be expecting the lead drivers to be slowing down in these areas. The green areas will indicate where we expect the drivers to maintain or be accelerating in those areas. So we have 2 slowdown areas on the track coming up on top of the hill here, right into outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. What we're looking for in tandem, the lead driver should be running as close to a 100-point qualifying run as possible. They are to make these little mistakes and be on the appropriate line with the right amount of angle, make no corrections throughout the run. Then the chase driver, their responsibility is to mimic that lead driver, stay as close as possible to them throughout the entire course, and mimic exactly where they do their transitions, where they initiate, and basically every move they make on the track should be mimicking what the lead driver does. That lead driver, we're going to be looking for them to accelerate and decelerate in these same areas right here. If they do decelerate in one of the green areas and it causes an issue for the chase driver, that may go against the lead driver. So they have to make sure they adhere to that map and try to put on the best run they possibly can in the lead position.
One of the things you guys talk about a lot, I think, in the judges meeting is really how to set yourself up properly for initiation as the lead driver. What are some of the responsibilities of the lead driver in particular on the initiation, and then also for the chase driver?
Well, the initiation needs to be done by that last standing cone. So as you come up down the hill, we have a 3-cone, a 2-cone, and then a 1-cone. The car needs to be at angle by the 1-cone. And then they need to not over-rotate and do a big reverse entry because those typically don't work that well for drivers. They tend to have to take angle out. So we want to see them maintain the same amount of angle all the way around the corner that they initiate with.
You guys seem to be scoring very well. Drivers that initiate with good angle, keep that angle in, but then get back on throttle either right at inside clip 1 or just a little bit past it. Why is that so important?
So when you see drivers coming in a little bit maybe too fast or offline, they have to lift to avoid going off the track, driver's right, into that gravel area there. But when you get it just right, you can get on throttle really early and power through. It shows a lot of commitment, and it shows a lot of dedication on the lead driver's part, and they've really calculated where they need to be on track and to get on the throttle like that.
In qualifying today, we talked a little bit about what used to be zeros, now called incompletes. They're very similar to qualifying, but we've added one more to the list. So can you give us just a kind of a breakdown on the incompletes?
Yeah, so we have spinning out, just like in qualifying. We have opposite drift. So that means if the car's in the opposite direction, angle-wise, as it should be in a certain area, we will give an incomplete for that. Anything latchable that opens up while the car is out on track, hood, hatch, doors, trunk, anything like that, that'll be an incomplete. Any unsportsmanlike conduct or an inactive chase, and that means if the chase car is giving the lead driver too much room, he's too far behind, then in that case, that'll be considered an inactive chase and an incomplete.
Just one more thing that I wanted to talk about. We don't get to talk about it a lot because sometimes a lot of the courses are more outside zones, but we do allow passing. Just real quick, can you break down the passing rules for us and where that might happen on this course?
So passing can only occur at inside clipping points. So on this track, you'd only have a couple of areas for that to happen. Inside clip 1, as you're coming down the hill to initiation. We saw, I think, a textbook pass there. Osbo passed Forsberg a couple of years ago, and that it keeps being our really perfect explanation for how a pass should be done. And then here at inside clip 2 as well, it could definitely happen where the lead driver goes way offline, and that chase driver can squeeze in on the appropriate line, not taking away anything from that lead driver.
You talked about spinning oot. I know what spinning out is, but what's spinning oot?
Oot in a boot. Sorry for my Canadianness.
Sorry, Canadian jokes. Had to do it. Lighten it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, thanks for joining us out here at Pro 2 Top 16. Thank you, Ryan Lantain. Thank you, Ryan Sage. Hashtag FDATL. Here's our first battle. Danny George versus Alec Robbins, his first foray into Pro 2 competition. Danny George initiating that on the wrong side of that front clip. Way off course. Looks like he reinitiates. And that is going to be a major deduction for Danny George. So as Danny rounds out the rest of this run, Alec Robbins, that's a hard act to follow just right out of the gate, unfortunately for Danny George. So Ryan, let's look at this again. He was on the wrong side of that front clip.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think also too for Robbins, because he's in the chase position here, there's going to be some problems there as well. You can see he straightens out on initiation. George goes over that inside clip. So this is one of those tough runs where you have quite a few mistakes from both drivers. You can see both drivers losing angle there. Robbins again in the chase position. George coming around this inside clip. So Lantain, from your position here, it seems like both drivers had some pretty sizable mistakes. Can you, one way or the other, say who maybe made the bigger mistakes, even though it's apples to oranges?
So in the case of a lead driver making a mistake that we would consider an incomplete, whether that's a spin, a straighten, going off track, whatever it may be, in that condition, the chase driver is not required to continue drifting. So in this situation, I would say personally that Danny George would have an incomplete on the lead run. He went off course pretty badly, straightened, and drove up the hill quite a distance. So in that case, I would give Danny George an incomplete, and I would not put Robbins at any fault for not being able to complete that run, as he had a really poor lead run to follow.
And that's to differentiate between if it happened the opposite way around, the lead driver would still need to complete the run.
Exactly. Right? If the chase car did it behind him, then the lead would still be responsible for finishing the run.
Here we go. Alec Robbins out front. Danny George in the chase position. Now Alec wraps it around that first front clip. He keeps the angle up the hill. Good job by that Coro Works C, bringing it into the second rear clipping zone. Danny George now looking a lot more comfortable in that chase position. Gets up next to the C and then brings it out of the horseshoe. George compromising some angle there. And here comes Alec Robbins. And it looks like Alec Robbins, when he got that clean air out front, looks like he could put a run together. And then with Danny George's major mistake out front, that looks like that's going to be all she wrote for, unfortunately, for that Shango next entire BMW.
Well, I think it's really going to come down to do the judges agree with Ryan and his assessment of Danny George.
having an incomplete on that first run. If they give a little bit of leeway, if you go back to that run, you'll notice that Robbins is making very sizable mistakes as well, and you could almost argue that it was independent. But Ryan is right. We do have a rule in the book that basically says if the lead driver does have an incomplete, that essentially washes the remainder of the run. So we'll know exactly what took place here as soon as the judges put up their result.
All right, so here we go. Going to the judges. Slide them left for Robbins, right for George, and it is unanimous. Alec Robbins gets the victory. Alec Robbins gets the victory, unfortunately. So, Ryan, as you said, that kind of came true where Danny George's at fault. Lantain, is that the scenario?
Yeah, for me, definitely. And it comes down to, we know George was very capable of running this course. He was the '1 qualifier, did some great practice runs, just made a miscalculation on his initiation right there. And unfortunately, it cost him this tandem battle.
So the number 16 driver, Alec Robbins, takes out the number 1 qualifying driver, Danny George. So Robbins advances on to the grade 8. Up next, Matt Van Kirk will lead. Trenton Beecham will give chase. All right, so here we go again. Matt Van Kirk, he's in the bright orange Drift-O-Matic S chassis. Trenton Beecham in the Ford Mustang. Through the start chicane, we got a clean start. And away they go. Trenton Beecham maybe giving himself too much room here. We'll see if that pays off. Ends up biting him in the end. Good job by Van Kirk. Transitions back. It looks like he lost some angle there. Now Beecham really gaining the proximity as Van Kirk brings in that second outer zone. Beecham, wow, a lot of slowing there from Van Kirk, but keeping it there. Look at that, banging doors, continuing through the course. Great job by Van Kirk and Beecham. That's fun. You love the door banging. That's really, kind of an essence of drifting, but kudos for Van Kirk for keeping it in there.
We'll take a look at Van Kirk here. He gets a good jump on Beecham here, right through that first inside clip. Then you can see Beecham starting to close the door a little bit here. Van Kirk slows down, kind of straightens up a little bit, and then Beecham right there has to make an adjustment. Right here, this is where you talk about Jared getting super close here. Beecham right up along that side door of Van Kirk. Now down the hill here, losing a little bit of gap, then gaining it back. And we were so impressed with the Pro 2 guys coming out of Orlando. We're starting to see some of that here already in the second battle. And there's a huge opportunity for some of the top guys like Travis Reeder and Josh Robinson, with Kevin Lawrence being out of competition as the current leader right now. Those guys in particular, I would say the top 5 guys have a huge opportunity here to jump up.
So now Trenton Beecham will lead. Matt Van Kirk will give chase. Beecham from Southern California, Matt Van Kirk. Talked about him being from Washington, so quite a bit of distance for both these guys. Saw Trenton Beecham drift for the first time last year in Long Beach, and Van Kirk, I've seen different variety of his driving at Evergreen Drift and different Pacific Northwest events. I've seen his vehicle. So here we go. Beecham out front, Van Kirk in the chase. See how Beecham initiates. Van Kirk, a good bit of distance between him. Oh, and Beecham, another driver miscalculating. So oh wow, look at that. It looks like the cone just gets caught up in Beecham's car. And it looks like, yeah, the cone, you can see the cone is stuck in his right front fender well. So Beecham unfortunately affected. And the cone's still there. Ryan, a real unfortunate circumstance. You can still see the cone at front right.
Yeah, it's completely locked up the front right, so it's a very unfortunate turn of events. You'll see Beecham as he initiates, he's going to get basically the 2 fronts right over that first inside clip. He's going to pick up the tire, and it's going to completely, I've never seen this before to this degree. It completely locks up the front wheel, and he has nowhere to go. So it was due to his mistake. He kind of suffered a little bit from what Danny George did, but Ryan, from your perspective, how big of a mistake was that? I mean, sadly, he picked up the cone, and the end result was he couldn't move the front tire, but how would you have treated that judging-wise?
Well, he actually had a mechanical break there. I think what happened is when he went off right here, the front control arm or something broke, and that's what's causing the front wheel to not work anymore. You can see it flopping around. Yeah. Yep. The cone just happens to still be in there at that point. So due to him going off, and having that mechanical issue, being in the lead position, the chase driver doesn't even need to continue, but the run is essentially over at that point. It'll be an incomplete for Trenton Beecham based on that. So he, again, like you said, made a miscalculation. Made a miscalculation coming down the hill. Just got a little too aggressive on the initiation and got inside on that inside clip.
So Van Kirk.
There's a great shot at it right there, Jared.
Yeah.
You can see it actually. Once he goes off the dirt, he hits the concrete.
Oof.
It's going to pop.
Yeah, that's completely hitting the back of the fender.
Yeah.
Van Kirk continues. He shuts it down. He knew he didn't have to finish it out. I mean, again, we tell him to shut it down. So unfortunately, looks like Beecham will be getting a toe off. Not the way he wanted his weekend to end, but slide him left for Beecham, right for Van Kirk, and Matt Van Kirk gets the victory. Matt Van Kirk from Marysville, Washington. The Drift-O-Matic lives on to see another battle in the Great 8. So you can, hey, if you haven't downloaded it yet, now's a great time. Download the Formula Drift app. So many features, including live scoring, and also we do some promotions, some really cool exclusive FD content, alerts, notifications, access to live stream, buy tickets, fans reward program. Speaking of fans reward program, if you've already downloaded the app or you download it, if you type in FDRA, you'll receive 50 points. Again, 50 points towards that basically a fan reward program. It's available on App Store and Google Play. Also, win a set of wheels. How? Well, you're going to take a photo of you watching this weekend's event, hashtag FDDrifts. That's DRIFZ17. Enter to win a free set of Drifts wheels as run on Artemis Odi Bakshis's vehicle, hashtag FDDrifts17, an official sponsor of Formula Drift, ATDwheels.com. All right, well, when we come back, we'll get Trenton Beecham off the track, and we'll advance on with Spike Chen versus Austin Meeks.
Drifting. Shooting. Desert. Short course. The one-stop shop for all your adrenaline needs.
Oh, wow. You're Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Hi.
And that is the new Nas Rowdy drink?
That's it.
Can I get a picture?
Sure, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, no. Get rowdy.
Welcome back as we get our next pair set up. You could see, looks like, I believe that's Spike Chen warming up his tires just off in the distance. Such a cool track, Ryan. I mean, memories flashing back for you, Atlanta. Like anything stand out in your mind?
I can actually, I mean, the biggest one for me is actually coming here the very first time when we had a relationship with the track, and they were, trying to get us to maybe come do an event out here, and we're like, it would be great if you could somehow pave something to have it go back down.
Yeah.
And they said, we'll do it.
That's so rad.
And that pretty much started the horseshoe, and we've had some great memories here ever since. And, and obviously probably the next bit best is you got some of the craziest fans.
Right,
especially these guys down here over the right that just kill it every year. So.
Yeah. Drift Scum. And I guess they got some cool stuff down there that they're going to
fire up next year. But Team Rowdy, they've been coming here for years. I guess they're celebrating their anniversary, coming out here. 4 years, been doing their own VIP. So different levels of fans, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So thanks for joining us out here. 14 years for those hardcore fans that have been here since '04. Thank you. Or if this is your first year, thank you so much. As the sport of drifting has really just progressed through the years, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Austin Meeks, Spike Chen, here we go. Meeks out front, and Chen will be giving chase. So here we go. All right, so Chen, a very early jump. Will that pay off? We'll see. Austin Meeks throws it in. Committed on the side of the car and committed behind the wheel. Nice job. Spike Chen really lacking the angle there. Meeks, big transition. Oh boy, is it coming in too hot? No, Meeks rides the lightning. Well done by Austin Meeks. Out of the horseshoe. Well done by Austin Meeks. He looked like he was going to overcook it in the horseshoe, man.
Yeah, that's basically just totally exemplary run right there from Meeks, especially in the horseshoe. It looks like Chen maybe mistimes his jump a little bit here. You can see Meeks gets out, starts off nice, and then Meeks is going to get held up here just a little bit, and then Chen is going to be able to close the door, but with no angle. And then as Meeks goes up the hill, looks like he's going to fly off course, but he threads the needle right through that outer zone. That's exactly what you're looking for. He's still able to maintain close proximity to that inside clip. You can see he's putting down a massive smoke cloud here as he goes down the hill. Chen straightening out a little bit, so a good first run right here by Meeks. And now Chen is going to have a pretty big hill to climb here as he'll take the lead against Austin Meeks.
Actually a hill to descend here as Road Atlanta starts at the top of the hill. And again, so great execution there by Austin Meeks. Yeah, that smoke is thick, and we've seen kind of seen it all. We saw some heat earlier, we saw some rain, saw some wind, and now it is just calm. It is just a glassy, basically like a lake day. It's just absolutely perfect, but nice evening, but the smoke just lingers, so everybody can just blow as hard as they can.
No, I'd definitely rather have this than what was predicted to be 90% rain, and we're just not seeing it right now, so we've been pretty lucky today.
Right. No, for sure. Yeah, don't. There you go. Oh, there, I felt the drop. No moisture as of yet. Ryan Sage, one of my fondest memories here. There's two that come to my mind. One involves our very own judge Andy Yen, where he lost a tire. And that was a great one. That was a fun one where he ended up in the kitty litter, lost a tire. It was. That's when he actually drifted.
That was one of my favorite cars that he used to drive.
I'm kidding.
I like that car.
You had the gloomy on the side, right? Right? Didn't you have the gloomy, the bear dude on the side?
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then another fond memory is Alex Pfeiffer versus Sam Hubenet. The Corolla and the Dodge Viper. Here we go. Spike Chen out front. Austin Meeks in the chase position. Good initiation by Spike Chen. Meeks with more angle. Look at Meeks applying the, Spike Chen. Oh. All right, so Spike shuts it down, but Meeks continues through the course. Unnecessary, but still really cool. Look at Meeks go. Woo! Lined up those Achilles radials. Well done, Austin Meeks. Doing it and winning it in grand fashion. Just gives him a little hate tap in the back end. Let's look at this again.
Well, you can see right here, Meeks is pacing Chen extremely well. You see Chen right here is going to get on the brakes for a second. He's going to come very slow through that section, basically shutting it down. Meeks has nowhere to go, gives him a little tap there, and then passes on through. Doesn't need to do that, but he certainly looks like he's on fire tonight. And Austin Meeks, good bit of driving there.
And if you recall in Orlando, Meeks got the back end of it, or he got his back end tore off. Remember
the Goebel, right?
It was Goebel and Meeks in Orlando. That got pretty Richter. So here it is again. You see Spike shut it down, and he taps the brakes. So it looks like unrelated incidents of Spike Chen coming to a halt, and then Meeks. So look, yeah, you can see Spike. He is shut down halfway back up the hill. So Meeks and Chen, slide him right for Meeks and left for Chen. Austin Meeks gets the victory, advancing on into the Great 8. Congratulations to Austin Meeks. Unfortunately, Spike Chen, his weekend is done. Hey, if you haven't already, you know, our presenting sponsor, Blackview Dash Cameras, the technology there, you and your car connected, you can win one. How? Well, pull out your phones. We got a moment. Text BVRA to 38714, BVRA, for a chance to win a free Blackview Dash Camera. Must be 18 or over to enter. Retail value $379. You and your car connected. So you get the app. You get basically document what goes on in your car. There were some pretty interesting incidents that Ken Gucci encountered, where basically he had his camera on the normal road in his Toyota 86, and a guy clipped him in the side lane, and fortunately, because he had his Blackview dash camera, he got the footage, got the guy's license plate number, and found out who it was and got his mirror fixed. Also, he narrowly avoided an accident too, which was pretty wild too. So the Blackview dash camera is definitely a cool tool. So again, get your phone out, text BVRA to 38714 for a chance to win a free Blackview dash camera. Must be 18 or over to enter. All right, Takata, the iconic green harnesses, has now made wallets. If you haven't picked yours up, find yours at TakataRacing.com. There's also autographed ones, now including Matt Field, but drivers are Frederick Osbo, Chris Forsberg, Ken Gucci, Mad Mike Woodit, and Ryan Turk. So find yours at TakataRacing.com, the Formula Drift Takata collaboration wallets. So it looks like Spike Chen slowly making his way with some assistance up the hill. And we will be seeing our next battle, Brody Goebel, Ola Jaeger. That's what I say at night sometimes when you get out there. Looks like our drivers are ready. Brody Goebel will lead. Ola Jaeger piloting a vehicle that was deemed and nicknamed Chucky. This is a vehicle that was piloted by Frederick Osbo before, pulled out of the graveyard, and now here it is competing in Pro 2 with another Norwegian driver behind the wheel. All right, just want to make sure that the Road Atlanta Fire and Safety is prepared and go. So Road Atlanta waiting for their fire and safety team. All right, and looks like they are ready to go. Brody Goebel out front. Ola Jaeger in the Supra will be giving chase. Brody Goebel from Vancouver, BC. And Brody initiates in that first front clip. Ola Jaeger right there in the mix. Has to back off. Brody Goebel, ton of horsepower, flings it, slingshots it up the hill. Oh, grips up too much. Looks like he got a little bit nervous there and checked up. A wide swing around that second front clip, and now back down the hill as the smoke lingers and transitions back up. Brody Goebel. Good execution by Goebel early on, but when he went to that horseshoe, he checked up and it looks like he really got nervous.
Well, Goebel, one of the most promising drivers in the Pro 2 lineup. Certainly a lot of potential here. You can see he gets a good start on that initiation right there. Jaeger goes a little bit wide on that first inside clip. Now he's playing catch up here. Now Goebel has an opportunity to fill this entire zone, but he comes up a little bit short here. Left some points out on the table figuratively, not literally, of course. And then you can see right here, back down the hill. Good transition right here to the final turn. Nice and smooth right there. Just a tiny bit off that last inside clip. But Jaeger playing a little bit of catch up there from uphill and down to the hill to the finish line. So now we'll mix it up. Jaeger goes to the front. Goebel chases him down.
Okay, so here we are. Ola Jaeger will now lead. Ryan, sometimes at night when I go to the bar, I say Ola Jaeger as well. Say, what's up, Jaeger?
Like, hey, give me Jaeger? I don't get
like,
it.
Yeah, like, hey, hi, Jaeger. Like,
it's cool, man.
Yeah, it's multiple uses.
I see. Ola.
Ola Jaeger.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, hey, Jaeger.
That was too sly for me.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. Here we go, Ola Jaeger, Brody Goebel. Let's see how Ola hangs out front. Japan Auto, Toyota Supra. Brody Goebel, great looking car. He calls it, what is it, S14.75, I think is what he kind of called it, with the 15 head and tail. And here we go, Chucky, the Supra. Ola Jaeger behind the wheel. Transitions in, you see a kind of a straight line. Lock it up, then makes it around that first front clip. Jaeger, a lot more comfortable out front. Let's see if Goebel can make up some ground here. Flex his muscles. Both of them having a similar line around that second front clip in the keyhole. Now back down the hill. Jaeger using all of the course. And back up the hill goes Ola Jaeger and Brody Goebel. Ryan, what stands out to you?
Well, Jaeger may not have got the initiation that he wanted. You can see he's going to be a bit hesitant here to get into the angle, hold that angle all the way through. And the judges really like to see a snap to angle, hold it. And he also had an opportunity here to fill this outer zone because Goebel didn't. He could have matched those two things up. You can see kind of like you said, has a similar line to Goebel in that second outer zone. Goebel, meanwhile, looks like he's still kind of playing catch up a little bit here, trying to close the door towards the end. Jaeger on this inside line, then comes across the middle, does a better job on that last inside clip, but Goebel not able to close the door. So both drivers, you know, leaving a few points on the table, Jared.
That reminds me of a story one time.
We'll see how it goes with the judges, but certainly a few mistakes from both sides.
All right, so Jaeger slide him left for Jaeger, slide him right for Goebel, and the judges are saying Ryan's saying one more time. Brian says, Andy says Brody Goebel, and Brian says one more time. So they're going at it again. You know, I actually probably would have leaned more towards Ola Jaeger. I think Goebel had a decent lead run to lead run, chase run to chase run. You know, Lantain, let's get your attention here, buddy. Two, you went one more time. You were one of them.
Yep.
Your reasoning.
I just felt that they had similar leads and similar chases. There may be a little bit more proximity from Brody in one area of the track over Ola, but I think Ola did a little bit better job in the lead position, especially near the latter portion of the course. So I just wanted to see them go again because I really didn't see that there was a clear advantage for either one of them.
Yeah, I think Goebel had a major mistake here on his lead run, though. Like he looked like he got nervous and checked up. I mean, Austin Meeks, he threw it in and just held on, and it looked exciting. I think Goebel was right there. I think that would have just been the deciding factor, the whiz bang pow, if he would have brought it in high and tight like a fastball pitch. All right, so Dirk Stratton, and this is Crick Filippi from Vallejo. So again, here we go. As Dirk Stratton, the dagger right there. Oh, Crick, right on the door of Dirk Stratton using all the course. Ryan, let's see if we have some contact here. As now, Dirk Stratton gets the outside zone, continues through the course. Filippi up in the mix. Big smoke coming off that Stratton Chevrolet Corvette. Make some noise for these guys. Stratton and Filippi.
Well, I think we're definitely gonna see some contact here on initiation, and my gut is telling me that it's gonna go to Filippi because this is a slowdown area here. Watch Stratton initiates. You can see Filippi is actually on the brake still, and he still makes contact with Stratton there. Now it's going to force Stratton off, but both drivers get back into it. So that's just my initial grasp. There's contact there. Filippi was on the brakes, and it looked like Stratton was not. So that would indicate, especially in a slowdown area there, that Filippi would be at fault for the contact. But both drivers continue on, and so the judges will judge this run in its entirety. You can see that great snapback by Stratton there, though he was off that last inside clip.
That looks really dynamic. That just shows a little bit, you know, I really encourage, and I think all the guys encourage this, you know, if you got contact and you can stand, don't flop. You know, we see it in so many other sports, and yeah, you could see that hit right there. Both of them, you can see the momentum there from Filippi even taking both of them off course. Yeah, that could have been a lot uglier. Was it tire to tire? So here, this angle. Yeah. Got sketchy, but
for the most part, everybody comes out unscathed. But now, Ryan, we're hearing the judges talk. It comes down to who's at fault as well.
Well, you can see both brake lights, front and rear, working for both drivers. Stratton's don't go on until actually he comes past. And watch the brake lights of Stratton here. They're going to come on after the contact, but you can see that Felipe's are on the entire time, which basically says slowing momentum. So let's bring in Ryan real quick to just get his perspective.
Yeah, Felipe definitely got a little aggressive on initiation. Stratton was slowing down in a legal slowdown area, so there's no problem there. And from that point on, in my opinion, you can't really put any onus on Stratton for not having a good lead run because he just got knocked off track. So in that case, it would be responsibility on Felipe for the hit and for the ensuing poor run.
For something like that, how long, yes, he gets pushed off course. At what point do you have to get back on course? Is it going back downhill as a lead driver? Or like, when do you say?
Well, in that case, if you look at where he's supposed to be on track going up the hill, he's way off course now. He's 1 or 2 tires off, theoretically because of that push off the track. Now his line is completely messed up. His momentum's gone to come up the hill. How is he expected to fill outside zone 1 and 2 properly? It's going to be really tough for him to do that.
So now Dirk Stratton will be chasing down Felipe here. Crick Felipe. We are just almost more than halfway through, or just almost half. We got a one more time battle here on the one side of the top 16 bracket. And now we've entered on the other side, but we will revisit Goebel and Jaeger.
Basically what was going on there, Jared, is they just wanted to make sure the spotters understood who was at fault just in case there needed to be some touching of the vehicle.
Copy that.
They're proceeding forward.
Copy that. Here we go. So Felipe, out of the gate, Dirk Stratton, is he giving himself too much distance here? We'll see if the dagger cuts deep as Felipe past that first front clip. And here comes Stratton up the hill, tucking into the smoke. Whoa, look at him gain that ground really quickly. Felipe, now Stratton right there. Felipe with that wide swing. Dirk Stratton, that Stratton Chevrolet Achilles Radial Corvette. On one right now. And Felipe brings it around that final clip. And Stratton almost airing it out. That could have gotten really ugly there. But man, some exciting driving from that Corvette.
Well, like Goebel, you can definitely see the ability of Stratton here. Now, I think he gives a little bit too much room here. He may have received advice from the spotter. Hey, look, you're not at fault for the contact, but he still does need to, play ball here. And right here, he engages up the hill, close the door. Now, Felipe's going to go wide on this inside clip, leaves the door open for Stratton, who gets super close right here, backs off for a second through the smoke line. As Felipe comes down the hill, you can see a little bit of wavering there from Stratton overall. But I think he's in good terms here on that last inside clip. Makes a tiny mistake in the chase position as Felipe hits that inside clip. So a good back and forth battle here. Maybe a little bit of room left open there going up the hill, but Stratton was able to close it.
Love seeing the new blood, but unfortunately Felipe, that has come to an end because Dirk Stratton unanimously gets the victory. Hard pressing Crick Felipe. Want to see him at future rounds of Formula Drift, but Dirk Stratton, you just saw it. If I'm his spotter or if I'm Dirk, makes you a little nervous there if you're giving yourself too much room as he headed down the hill. So Stratton advances on. Right now we are revisiting that of Brody Goebel and Ola Jaeger. Hello, Jaeger. Ola Jaeger from Norway, Brody Goebel from BC. So thanks for joining us out here in Atlanta. As again, we're revisiting this one more time. 14 years, been banging away out here at this iconic Road Atlanta track. And these two gentlemen are about to do battle. Who's going to advance on? We're about to find out. Brody Goebel and Ola Jaeger. All right, here we go. Brody Goebel out front, Ola Jaeger in the chase position. Brody Goebel, see him lighten him up real quick. Ola Jaeger, right there on the door. Good angle from Brody Goebel. Ola Jaeger, not letting him slip. Look at the angle from Brody Goebel, bringing it all the way out there. That's how you get it done. As Goebel out of the keyhole, and Jaeger losing some ground there. You see Goebel staying on it, powering all the way through, back up the hill.
And there, you saw Goebel. He didn't, get nervous, didn't check up. Looks a lot more poised. It was reminiscent of what Meeks did.
Well, this is definitely a story where Goebel made some improvements in his chase run here, especially in the keyhole. And Jaeger was doing a pretty good job, also making some improvements in his chase until the section of the course coming down the hill. Remember, Goebel missed this outer zone first time around. Now he's got that in the books. He goes a little bit wide on that first inside clip. And right here, as Jaeger comes into attack, he's going to lose angle, fall back for a little bit, and almost straighten out coming down this last section of the course. So Goebel now has a good, solid lead in his books. And Jaeger's he's going to need to come back with a strong one of his own. Meanwhile, Goebel will have to still put pressure in the chase position, but now that he knows what Jaeger did in his chase, all he's got to do is do better than that, and he should solidify a potential victory.
All right, well, Ola Jaeger, not an easy act to follow. That Supra, it has the horsepower there, and when he got that clean air on his first battle, he looked a lot more confident and throwing down. So Ola Jaeger will be out front in the Toyota Supra. Brody Goebel will chase him down. Brody Goebel looks like he's got the power, man. That thing is cranking out smoke like a smoke factory. All right, how we doing down there, Drift Scum? You guys having fun? Yeah, hardcore fan. Team Rowdy, how we doing over there? I don't know, I think Drift Scum's got you beat. You guys have been coming here too long. All old farts over there. I'm just kidding. There's no turf battle, it's all love. It's all love, right? All right, so here we go. Again, Ola Jaeger and Brody Goebel. We are now officially halfway through the top 16 to find out who's going to win here in Pro 2. Again, Kevin Lawrence, he won in Orlando, but he did not advance on in qualifying. Ola Jaeger out front. Brody Goebel initiates. Brody Goebel giving himself too much room. Ola up the hill. Look at the amount of smoke that comes off of that S14. Brody Goebel shredding some weight. And Goebel back on the throttle. And Brody Goebel making kind of a sizable mistake there. You saw him throw it out there, light up the wheels, and keep it going. Let's see. Where are my Ola Jaeger fans out in the Toyota Supra?
Well, I think Goebel had a real opportunity here to lock it up if he could commit to a very solid chase here, but Jaeger does not allow that to happen. You can see he gets a good jump. He's nice and tight on that inside clip, and he starts to pull away from Goebel coming up the hill. Now, let's see if he fills his zone here. He does a much better job. He doesn't go as deep as Goebel, but we'll see how that plays in the overall thing. He also misses that inside clip there. Now, Goebel is still going to be losing ground here to Jaeger, and as Jaeger wraps around this last inside clip, we're not seeing much pressure from Goebel in the chase position, so Goebel had a pretty tremendous lead. You could probably say that Jaeger's lead wasn't as good, but was Goebel there in the chase?
Yeah, I mean, I think Goebel just made a big mistake out there. Where are my Brody Goebel fans at? Make some noise. Look at the smoke here. Unbelievable. Okay, Brody's got one. Thanks. George K, I appreciate that. Brody, you're Brody Goebel's only fan. I'm joking, obviously not. Where are my, what fans at? Yeah, my drifting fans, just generic. Where are my fans at? And the scores are in. Slide them left for Jaeger, right for Goebel. Are they going one more time? Ryan says Brody Goebel. Andy says one more time, and Brian says Brody Goebel. Brody Goebel, 2-1, gets the victory. Brody Goebel from BC, Vancouver, advances on into the Great 8. So congratulations, Brody Goebel. Ryan Lantain, going to you. You aired on the side of Brody Goebel. Your reasoning.
My reasoning. Brody had a better lead. Jaeger did a pretty good job coming up the hill here in terms of his line, but his angle was pretty low coming up the hill. He didn't get as deep into outside zone 2 as Goebel did. So in that sense, Goebel's chase didn't have quite the proximity coming up the hill, but the lead was not doing what he should in the lead position, so can't really hold that too much against Goebel. Goebel made one mistake here, coming from outside zone 2 to inside clip 2, but other than that, had a pretty good chase up until that point.
Sylvester Gorgi against Randall Waters. All right, so Gorgi will lead. And going and chasing Randall Waters falls. Here we go. Sylvester Gorgi out front from Budapest. Randall Waters initiates, ISS 14. Gorgi lights him up, nice job, good angle there from Gorgi. Now into that first rear clipping zone, into the horseshoe, way outside of the box. Gorgi really not put it together here out front. But Randall Waters keeps kind of modulating back and forth, but Gorgi, I mean, over here, he could have definitely put it out there a little further.
Well, Waters is in the top 5 right now, so this is a big opportunity for him to gain those much-needed points, as we talked about with Kevin Lawrence going out early. Gorgi right there through that first inside clip. You can see Waters gets a little bit out of whack here, and he's not really able to close the door. But then look at Gorgi, takes this really, really tight line, does not get out to that outside zone at all. Good job by Waters right there to recognize it and stay on that on the lead driver and not let him get away. But then he does here towards the latter part of the course, falls back a little bit. So both drivers kind of struggling here. Quite a few low points, and then we really want to try to make that up in this next run. So Waters has an opportunity here to clearly lay down a better run than Gorgi. If he does that, he's going to give himself a fighting chance.
Yeah, for sure. Look at the smoke just looming here, and again, it is a dead calm. You guys having fun out there? Thanks for sticking around. Casual Friday. Make some noise for all the drivers. Will you make some noise, Road Atlanta? I just saw that dab. That was a solid dab, homeboy, right there in Team Rowdy. That was a mellow, cool dab. Brooks Church, how we doing, buddy? Keeping it real in the field. All right, so we are clearing the track as the smoke looms. Looks like Walking Dead right now. Where's Andy Sapp when you need him? Randall Waters will now lead. Sylvester Gorgi will give chase. Blinded by the light. Lights are on. Flicking it in. Sylvester Gorgi will be going chasing Waters. Falls. We'll see. Get it? His name's Randall Waters, and Gorgi's chasing him, so he's chasing Waters. Falls. We'll see. Yeah, it's a good one. You always love my terrible jokes, Ryan.
I love them no matter what.
I know you do. All right, here we go. Randall Waters, Sylvester Gorgi. Send it. All right, initiating. Randall Waters, ISS 14. Nice around that. Oh, Gorgi overcooks it, gets into the dirt. And look at this, we are seeing Waters power through, doesn't get to the outside zone, tightens it back up to the front clip. Gorgi way back there, nowhere to be found. Looks like this is gonna be all Waters advancing on. And boom goes the dynamite. There you go, Randall Waters puts it together. Ryan, you asked for it, and he delivered. Randall Waters.
Well, this is a perfect example of what we talked about with the chase driver having an incomplete. You're gonna see here, Waters starts off very strong, a nice, strong initiation, a bit of an e-brake pull there, but then lets the tires move forward, gets back on the throttle. Gorgi goes off course, shuts it down. Now at this point, you got an incomplete from Gorgi. You just need Waters to finish the run and not have an incomplete in his run. He does not do that here, so that would mean a victory for him moving on into the Grade 8 after a hard-fought battle. He's able to come back with a strong lead run and close it out.
Hypercritical points. As I said, Kevin Lawrence, your winner from round 1, fails to make qualifying. He's not top 16, but Josh Robinson is in the mix, as well as Travis Reeder. We'll see Reeder. He's the final battle 16. I assume slide him left for Waters. Let's make it official. Randall Waters gets the victory, and Sylvester Gorgi is knocked out from Budapest. So there you have it. It's Randall Waters advances on. Speaking of the Aussie doing the shoey and drying out his shoes for the past few weeks, Josh Robinson. Josh Robinson in that Holden Ute. He's going against, hey, he's nothing but human. He is human Rahimi from Nashville, Tennessee. So two very different vehicles, two very different drivers, and formerly Rob Primo, the tallest guy in drifting. Haven't seen him out here in the Formula Drift grid, but always a great guy. Congratulations to him. He just got married as of recent, but I say that because he was the tallest guy in drifting. Josh Robinson, he's right there. They might be fairly challenged there on height. All right, Josh Robinson, Hooman Rahimi. Robinson will lead. Hooman will give chase. And we are ready to send him. You can see the lights illuminating, extinguish, send it. Here we go. Robinson out front. Rahimi gets that early jump. He is allowed to do that. If you're in the chase position, you can. Oh, it looks like, what's going on here? And Robinson crawling out of the gate, he might not be 100%. I know he is late to driver intros, so something could be up with Robinson and his Magnuson supercharged Holden Ute. Yeah, that does not sound good. Just want to make sure with the officials that was not a restart. All right, so we are getting word from the officials, Ryan, that the start is clean and something is afoot with Mr. Robinson. So
yeah, I think you can clearly see that here. He's taking his time getting back to the line, and obviously not for wanting to do that. So it looks like he's got some problems here. He may need to exercise his competition timeout, because at this point he's got an incomplete on run number 1, which would mean that he would need an incomplete from Rahimi in order to force it one more time. So he might as well take his competition timeout here if he believes that the problem is fixable. We've also seen situations like this where the driver will just bow out. So it's going to be on him at this point, and it looks like he is going to probably need a tow off of the course back to the hot grid.
all right, so if you can win a set of centerline wheels as run on Chelsea Denofa. I mean, he only needs 3 of them when he's turning one direction or the other. Win a set of centerline wheels, hashtag FD Centerline17. Tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event, and it's real easy. Hashtag FD Centerline, CENTERLINE 17, as in the year. You can win a free set of centerline muscle car wheels, courtesy of ATDWheels.com, an official sponsor of Formula Drift. All right, so Robinson will be getting assistance. Get him towed off course. So we'll take a short break, get Robinson off course, and we'll continue with more action here at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro 2 Championship, round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras when we return.
When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the skies.
I wanted to invent things.
I wanted to protect others.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make a difference.
I knew that one day I would be the difference.
I am a special missions aviator.
Clinical nurse.
Pararescueman.
I'm Captain Chris Niels, and we are American Airmen.
See more at airforce.com.
When you love your car, you wish you could check on it anytime, from anywhere. Blackview cloud-connected dash cams let you do just that. Your Blackview keeps you informed of status changes through alert messages. So when something unusual happens to your car, you can visualize it on your phone with remote live view and stop worrying. Blackview over the cloud. Me and my car connected. Find yours at blackview.com.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, Formula Drift driver of the Gum Out Nameless Performance GT86. This is our 1,000 horsepower inline 6-cylinder engine. To be able to sustain that amount of power for an entire season, you need quality parts and a very quality team to support your effort. That's one of the biggest things that Gum Out and I have in common. They use quality ingredients that are proven and tested in the lab, just like a race car is proven and tested on the track. Science in, performance out. It's more than just their tagline. Find out for yourself and pick up a bottle of Gum Out today.
Welcome back. We are here with more Top 16 action, and it looks like we are going to be advancing on to Andy Haley, and Travis Reeder, who got on the podium in Orlando. Can he do it again? All right, so you could see Reeder warming up his tires there in the back, that nameless performance S13. As I said, he got on the podium in Orlando. A lot of eyeballs on Reeder, but Andrew Haitley, I mean, he qualified 6th. It looks like he's coming together now.
Well, I think with Robinson, you know, right now at a disadvantage on his run, Reeder's the next guy in line. Actually, he's sitting above Robinson right now in 2nd place in the championship. So he stands the greatest position right here to take advantage of this opportunity, being only 20 points behind Kevin Lawrence coming into this event. With Lawrence not active in the top 16, this is a big opportunity for him. This right here alone could get him into 1st place.
And with there only being 4 rounds of Pro 2, it's hypercritical for every round of competition. Andy Haitley will lead. Travis Reeder will give chase. Here comes Haitley down in. Haitley initiates into that first front clip. Something interesting happening there. Looks like Travis Reeder keeps his composure. Haitley comes into the horseshoe. Now brings it all the way out to the outside zone. Could have gotten deeper, and then tightens it back up, blends into that orange cone. Here's Haitley and Reeder. Reeder now real close in proximity. Nice execution there by Reeder. Now back up the hill goes Reeder.
Well, we're seeing a lot of drivers have issues with this initiation. Heard the judges say what happened there. Let's take a look at Haitley. He initiates, doesn't really get into angle. He really struggles with that, but then right in the chase position, Reeder is way off that inside clip, and he needs to be following Haitley like a moving clipping point. So as we wrap around the horseshoe here, you can see Reeder tries to close the door, comes very close here. Now as we come back down the hill, you can see Reeder with a bit less angle than Haitley and almost going off course there, making some adjustments. So both drivers struggling at certain parts of the course, but leaving the door open for the other to have some improvement here. In run number 2, Reeder will now go to the lead position and Haitley will chase him down.
All right, so here we are once again. This would be, no, it's not our final battle. We still have to finish out the other half of Josh Robinson and Houman Rahimi. But right now it is Reeder out front and Haitley in the chase position. Working our way here through the top 16, Road Atlanta playing host, round 3 of the Pro Championship and round 2 of the Pro 2. And like I said, half the rounds, 4 rounds compared to 8 in Pro 2. So every round is hypercritical. Here we go, Reeder into that first front clip. Good execution by Reeder. Big angle from Reeder as Haitley now tries to wrangle him in. Haitley compromises going deep on that rear clipping zone, but look at that right there on the side of Reeder. Reeder, a solid lead run, and now back up the hill goes Reeder. Let me hear you, Atlanta, make some noise for Reeder and Haitley.
Well, this time the positions are swapped up, and you can see Reeder as he initiates. He's going to be nice and tight on this inside clip. Meanwhile, Haitley's a little bit wide there, so not following the lead car like a moving clipping point. You can see losing a little bit of angle there is Haitley in the chase position. As Reeder tries to shoot towards that outer zone, he comes up a bit short, allows the door to be open there for Haitley, who tries to close it, but as Reeder accelerates down the hill, you can see here he pulls away just for a second there. Haitley's got him in his eyes, but Reeder wraps around that last inside clip with about 2 car lengths distance. So bit of a battle on our hands here, and now we'll go to the judges and see if we get a result.
All right, Reeder in that red S14 with the black doors. Andy Haitley, great looking car. Always loved the E30 and his car in particular. Very fun to watch. Andy Haitley, seeing him in and out of Formula Drift competition. Great to see him back out here. You can see Houman Rahimi warming it up. Are we getting the tow car out here again? Somebody having issues? All right, so we are finding out. It is official. Travis Reeder gets the victory. Reeder gets the victory and advances on. So this is looking good for Reeder because right now, Robinson and Ryan, as you said, Kevin Lawrence did not make it. He was our points leader coming in, but not the case anymore. Reeder in the 16 now advances on to the 8, and Josh Robinson, who is sitting 3rd, he is sitting on that incomplete run in the first portion of that battle between him and Houman Rahimi, and then Brandon Schmidt and Randall Waters, as you said, he's advancing on as well. So good things are heating up pretty progressively here in Atlanta. One half of the battle left here for our top 16 to forge our Great 8. And we are seeing the officials here. Looks like dusting the track off here. Little track cleanup here. When we come back, we will see the second half of Robinson and Rahimi here at Road Atlanta.
You know, at Advance Auto Parts, we have some of the most knowledgeable and helpful people working in our stores. We just thought you should know. Because buying online and picking up your part at the local Advance Auto Parts store is so easy that, well, the most they may get to say to you is, "Hi, here's your part." It's a shame, really. Buy online, pick up in store in 30 minutes. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.
Welcome back, Josh Robinson, Houman Rahimi. Who's going to advance on? Robinson, if you can recall, he left the start line. It was a clean start, wasn't a restart. He strolled down, but unfortunately, that will be an incomplete run on his side of the bracket. So, Houman Rahimi, he's sitting pretty, as well as he will be out front. So he's got the clean air. He's got an advantage because Josh Robinson had an incomplete run. So our second half of this battle will round out the top 16. And championship implications on the line here for Josh Robinson. Holly and Chris, Grid Life, how we doing? Shout out. All right, so here we go. Again, red lights are on, and now they're out. That means it's go time. Houman Rahimi. And now Houman into the first front clip. And Josh swings it out. Looks like he does have the power, but unfortunately is having some issues still as Rahimi. And Josh seeming to struggle here, bringing it around, and Rahimi through the course. Dials it in, and it looks like it's gonna be Rahimi, unfortunately, for Josh Robinson.
Well, if you recall, we had Robinson with that issue with his vehicle, so he obviously needed kind of a miracle here. He needed Rahimi to zero out, incomplete run on his lead, and it doesn't seem like Rahimi does that here. You can see as he's coming up the hill, he's not doing anything that is going to cause the judges to give him an incomplete. You can see Robinson, not typical for him. He's fallen way far behind here. So unfortunately for him, a mechanical is going to end his day, and Rahimi is going to move on into the grade 8.
Shout out to the Australia guys, Joey, Jacked it, Lauren, and Matthew. Thanks for hanging out. But unfortunately, it looks like Josh Robinson is going home because Houman Rahimi unanimously gets the win. Houman Rahimi advances on into the grade 8. I know Team Rowdy is hyped about that, and as is Houman Rahimi. So congratulations, Mr. Rahimi. All right, our grade 8 is here. We have now seen our 8 battles in top 16. Now we have our 4 battles here in the grade 8. Remember, third place is decided by qualifying position. Matt Van Kirk versus Alec Robbins. Alec Robbins, MDU champion from last year. Piloted a truck, actually, in the championship, and now he got teamed up with Coro Works, a local Atlanta shop. Built this vehicle. Did not qualify in Orlando. The car just wasn't ready, and now it's back out here. He took out your #1 qualifier, Danny George, and then Matt Van Kirk. He made his way through Trenton Beecham, keeping his composure, even getting Beecham into the side of his door, but he continued on through the course, again, from Marysville, Washington. So you got Minnesota being represented there. with Alec. Soda, don't you know? And Van Kirk will lead in the Drift-O-Matic. S13, here we go. So Van Kirk coming down the pipe, initiates. Oh, Alec with some wavering, you saw him checking up, and Van Kirk, now the car's getting settled. Alec using all of the course, and Van Kirk does that. Alec tightens it up, transitions out of the keyhole, and Alec losing some ground. Van Kirk stomping the throttle all the way past that final clip. And Van Kirk, a dominant performance out front. Alec seeming to get that car to where he needs it.
So Van Kirk continuing a strong run here tonight. Initiates, has a little trouble getting to initiation. You can see right there Robbins has to make a slight adjustment. I don't know if that was independent or caused by that, but you can see here as Van Kirk goes up the hill, he's going to break into this section here. He's going to try to reach out to the zone. He could have gotten a little bit deeper there, and you can see Robbins on a tighter line. Doesn't follow him out to that outer zone as well as he should have. Now down the hill here, Van Kirk is going to have a nice smooth transition back around and stay nice and tight on that inside clip. And you can see that Robbins is about 3 to 4 car lengths back, so he was not able to close the door towards the end.
All right, so Van Kirk and Alec Robbins. As Van Kirk, Alec Robbins is actually leading, and Van Kirk will give chase. So the Coro Works Z on the start line. Drift-O-Matic Van Kirk will be given chase. All right, so and here we go. And looks like you can see the start lights illuminate just between them. And Alec leaves the start line. Look at him crab walking in there. Has the power on deck, initiates. Van Kirk right there, big wide swing. Scrubbing some speed. You can see Alec, minimal smoke coming off the back and very shallow around the keyhole. And now transitioning out and back up the hill. So very shallow on the keyhole for Alec Robbins out front. Let's take a look at this again.
Well, Van Kirk makes some good adjustments here. As you can see, Robbins initiates. He's on the brakes right here. Van Kirk tucks up on the inside. Now Robbins is going to get some angle in the car there. Van Kirk makes an adjustment as well. That'll be interesting to see how the judges take a look and interpret that. But right here, Robbins takes this super tight line. He does not push out to that outer zone at all. And Van Kirk stays with him, uses him as a moving clipping point, does a great job there to keep him within distance. Has a little bit less angle there for a second, Van Kirk, that is, but he's got the proximity, does a good job there, and with that lead run, I think that's probably going to be enough.
All right, so here we are, Alec Robbins, Matt Van Kirk. And slide him right. Matt Van Kirk gets the victory. Alec Robbins, his day is done. But Van Kirk advances on into the Final Four. And Van Kirk qualified 8th. Let's see how the rest of the field shapes up. As I said, with 3rd place coming down to qualifying, we got Austin Meeks and Brody Goebel. They actually qualified 4th and 5th. So Meeks and Goebel, this should be a fun one. These guys saw battle against each other in Orlando, and that's where these two great-looking cars really got into a tussle. Saw them catch air and all that. That was pretty exciting. So let's see what unfolds here on this iconic course. And Meeks had a solid lead run in this first battle against that of Spike Chen. All right, Meeks will lead. Goebel giving chase. Coming down the hill. Meeks using all the course. Flicks it in. Around that first front clip. Goebel, big maxed out angle from both the guys. Goebel losing ground. Meeks pulling it in. Just on fire. Does it go? Oh, and look at that, Austin Meeks. As I said, he came in, overcooked it. You saw him get out of the line. Goebel falling back. Could have seized an opportunity there. I want to take a look at this again. I mean, oh wow, Goebel getting out into the dirt as he rounded around that final clip. Let's take a look at Meeks here.
Well, you can see Meeks in the lead position here. He cuts across the center. Goebel's looking for an opportunity to attack on the inside here. He doesn't stay close to that inside clip like he should have right there, and he falls back a little bit with that angle as he transitions up the hill. Now, Meeks is going to make a huge mistake here. He puts too much angle in the car now, has to unwind it, and he basically runs over that inside clip. Now, this gives an opportunity for Goebel to close the door, but he's not able to close it all the way as Meeks throttles down the hill. Big smoke cloud here and wraps it back around. So, Meeks with a big mistake. Goebel coming off the course here towards the end, a little bit of a mistake on the transition coming up the hill, and both drivers have a bit of ambiguity, I would say, from my perspective here. We'll see if number 2 can lock it in.
Yeah, and they were quite a bit of distance apart from each other, and yeah, like you said, Meeks put too much angle. That could have been a lot worse, a lot more detrimental, but still not the prettiest. So as now Goebel will lead, and Meeks will give chase. We are in the Pro 2 Grade 8. We are live here at Road Atlanta, the second round of the Pro 2 Championship, hashtag FDATL. Download the app, all the basically info, live stream, even a rewards program. All right, so Goebel, Meeks. The winner goes against Matt Van Kirk in the Final Four. You could see the Achilles radial smoke just lingering from Austin Meeks' vehicle. Filling this place up. And here we go. Goebel out front, Meeks in the chase position. Like I said, these guys got into a good one in Orlando. Well, how's it going to unfold now? Goebel in that first front clip. Meeks right there. Meeks very close, but now has to back off as Goebel brings it into outer zone, and Meeks overcooks it on the other side. Gets into the dirt. Throws it into the sand, people, right there on the fence. And it looks like the needle's going to be going towards Brody Goebel at first glance. Ryan.
Well, a pretty crazy battle ensuing here as Goebel takes the lead. Meeks in the chase position. Goebel initiates. You can see Meeks on the inside here. Nearly hits Goebel. Has to put some angle in the car. Now he's going to fall back because of that. Wasn't able to make a smooth transition as he tries to really close down the gap on Goebel. And then as he accelerates up the hill, he sprays the crowd down here with a bunch of dirt as he goes 2 tires off course, trying to make up that gap from that mistake on the inside. And now Goebel wraps around this last inside clip, but he's going to go very, very wide here. Now we've seen Goebel go off course, and Meeks just blasting to try to catch up to him for one little pass at trying to salvage this run here. We'll see as the judges take both runs into account, looking at both lead runs together, both chase runs together, and who had the better overall feel, who was the dominant driver, Brody Goebel or Austin Meeks.
So Brody Goebel and Meeks both running Achilles radial, and it is just filling this natural stadium. You could see the IAS Randall Waters S14 warming up back there, and Dirk Stratton in the Stratton Chevrolet Corvette. All right, going to the judges, Goebel or Meeks. Slide him left for Goebel, right for Meeks. And there's a one more time from Ryan. And Brian says Brody Goebel. Andy says Brody Goebel gets the victory. Brody Goebel gets the victory. Lantagne, you said one more time, huh? Ryan Lantagne just getting. Ryan Lantagne, knock knock. Who's there? One more time. Okay. Just not happy with it.
I think you caught Lantagne in a very deep moment.
He was getting tranced out. He was getting laid down. Tell me about your mother and your relationship with your father. Okay, so we are halfway through the Grade 8, and Goebel will go against Van Kirk. Now it's Stratton and Waters. Dirk Stratton will lead, and Randall Waters. All these guys on Achilles tires just tearing it up. So let's see which Achilles driver is going to reign supreme here under the lights at round 2 of the Pro 2 Championship. Dirk Stratton, come to find out, his name in another language means dagger. So he's we got a couple daggers.
Oh,
in the building.
really?
Yeah.
No way.
So, yeah,
What's the other language?
What was it? What language? Basically, some language Dirk means dagger. So I don't know what exactly language it was, but I'm informed of that. So he's the dagger. Let's see if he stabs Randall Waters here. But Dirk doing duty out front. Getting to that rumble strip and overshoots, overcooks it. And Dirk Stratton goes off course. Randall Waters shutting her down. So that will mean an incomplete run for Dirk Stratton.
Well, let's take a look at this, Jared, because you're going to see a big understeer here from Dirk Stratton. Dagger gets a little bit too pitted on the inside on initiation, and once he understeers, he's not able to come out of it. Sometimes you can see drivers come out of it. Watch this on initiation. He's going to throw it in right here. He's got big angle of car, and then right there, the wheels are going to turn to the inside. He can't come out of the understeer, goes off the course. Now, at this point, the run's over. He's got an incomplete, and Waters does not need to finish the run. He sees what's going on here. He shuts it down, and he'll have himself an advantage going into run number 2.
All right, so here it is. Taking a look at it again. And there is Dirk Stratton overcooking it, throws it in, and Randall Waters. So now Randall Waters with the advantage, an incomplete run there for Dirk Stratton. All right, so okay, so Waters, Stratton, all right, so here we go, Waters and Stratton. Waters with an advantage here with Stratton having some mistakes. So Waters pulls through the course, and whoa, he goes off course now. Re-enters into the course. Oh, and Waters, that back right. So it seems that Dirk Stratton potentially caught a lucky break here.
Well, I mean, this is, there's not much more you can say about this. This is basically a blown opportunity here for Waters. Waters had a very easy pathway to victory here. He just needed to secure a lead run that did not have an incomplete. But as he passes through this inside clip, you can see he blows off course, puts dirt back on, so now we're going to have to come sweep it.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for showing up, just throwing dirt on your...
And then at the same time, it's going to be an incomplete. So it leaves the judges with very little opportunity here, other than I would imagine one more time if you've got two incompletes.
Yeah, it's basically two identical issues, one after another. So there's, the chase car is not responsible to continue that run after that occurs. So even though Dirk Stratton went around him and kept drifting, that is kind of inconsequential, really. They both zeroed out, incompleted. Independently.
Yeah, there it is. So it's a one more time battle between these two gentlemen, but Randall Waters may have some bigger fish to fry. Hopefully it is just that back right tire. You could see it's seen better days, but these guys are pushing hard. They know what's at stake here. Randall Waters, he was 5th position coming into this round of competition after Orlando. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see Human Rahimi and Travis Reeder, who is our current points leader after he advances on into the Grade 8. When we come back, more action here at Pro 2 Road Atlanta.
This presentation of Formula Drift has been brought to you by Blackview, Over the Cloud, Nexen Tire, Driving Tomorrow, Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts. Advance Auto Parts, let's get you back on the road.
Oh, the new Nosferatu drink. Oh, Kyle
awesome, huh?
Busch. Oh, cash, credit, or debit?
Well, man, I'm fresh out, but it is my drink.
Oh, I mean, not really. I mean, it's more my drink.
I'll trade you my hat.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Get rowdy.
The new Falcon Azenis FK450 all-season features long sweeping tread grooves designed for maximum water evacuation, while tapered notch grooves help grip snow packed in the tread. For year-round performance, get the Falcon Azenis FK450.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, Formula Drift driver of the Gumout Nameless Performance GT86. This is our 1,000 horsepower inline 6-cylinder engine. To be able to sustain that amount of power for an entire season, you need quality parts and a very quality team to support your effort. That's one of the biggest things that Gumout and I have in common. They use quality ingredients that are proven and tested in a lab, just like a race car is proven and tested on the track. Science in, performance out. It's more than just their tagline. Find out for yourself and pick up a bottle of Gumout today.
Limits are meant to be pushed. It's the only way progress is made. Some prefer to pace themselves. But I choose to floor it. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
When you love your car, you wish you could check on it anytime, from anywhere. Blackview cloud-connected dash cams let you do just that. Your Blackview keeps you informed of status changes through alert messages. So when something unusual happens to your car, you can visualize it on your phone with remote live view and stop worrying. Blackview over the cloud. Me and my car connected. Find yours at blackview.com.
Welcome back, Hooman Rahimi and Travis Reeder. Travis Reeder will be leading. Travis Reeder qualifying 11th, Hooman Rahimi qualifying 14th. All right, so here we go. As, again, Rahimi and Reeder. Reeder will lead. All right, taking a look at the clock. Join us for the podium. It is now, if you've been here previous years, usually it's down in the paddock. It's actually up here, really close to the judging stand, just off to the distance. You can't miss it when you make your way down. So here we go. Reeder, Rahimi. Who's advancing onto the final four? Reeder initiates. In that first front clip, good execution from him. Rahimi pedaling back a little bit, giving himself some distance. But Reeder seizing the moment. Shallow does not get all the way out to the outside zone. Reeder was on the podium. He was second place in Orlando, and right now he's looking dominant out front. Definitely could have used, you know, could have been to that outside zone in the horseshoe.
Well, Reeder looks like he gets the job done here, at least giving himself a good shot. As he comes through this first inside clip, you can see he's already starting to establish that he's on the right line. He's pulling a gap here on Rahimi. Now, he's not going to go deep into this zone. Now, that is the one mistake, and it's a fairly sizable one. He was able to hit this inside clip. Rahimi tries to come up on the inside here. He's going to take out that marking cone that gives the drivers a visual aid coming down the hill through the smoke line. And that'll be a slight error for him, but he really wasn't able to close the door overall. And meanwhile, Reeder really just had that one mistake where he drove a little bit of a tighter line coming into outer zone number 2. He'll have a slight deduction for that, but overall it was a pretty decent lead run. Now he's just got to hold on to a solid chase here. And like we said, Jared, for the championship chase, him and Waters are in the biggest position right now to capture those much-needed points for the championship. Reeder sitting in second place right now. If he wins here, he's going to advance on into the Final Four, and that's going to solidify him as the leader in the championship so far, and then we'll see what happens with Waters.
Yeah, with Robinson out as well, but like you said, Waters still a contender here since they had to go one more time. Got a lucky break there with Stratton. Waters got a break with Stratton, you know, everybody. So here we go, Hooman Rahimi leading Travis Reeder in the chase position. And Rahimi into that first front clip. Reeder keeping a good composure. Look at that, lunging into the side of the Z of Rahimi. Rahimi, big angle there, nice job. As Reeder, woo, look at him right there, riding shotgun with Rahimi. And Reeder really showing you why he is the current points leader. He did have a big correction there. I will say that he did not exactly mimic his angle towards that final clip, but Reeder really showing some dominance.
And also take a look at Rahimi's lead run. You can see really, really big slowdown there coming into inside clip 1. Reeder's able to adjust and then get back on it, try to close the door here. He's keeping pretty good distance to Rahimi, who does a decent job getting into that outer zone. But you can see right there, Reeder's not letting him get away. Takes up on the inside there as Rahimi goes a little bit wide on that second inside clip. And right here, you can see Rahimi's going to take a wide line, transition to that last inside clip. It kind of catches Reeder a little bit off guard, but he made his mark by being able to close the door on that second inside clip coming into the horseshoe here. And I think that should be enough for him to get the victory.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hooman Rahimi, Travis was right there. He had his number. Really, I mean, Hooman had a great lead run. I definitely will give him that. Reeder, you know, wasn't the cleanest, but he definitely had a very aggressive chase run. So Hooman Rahimi, Travis Reeder slide him right for Travis Reeder. Travis Reeder gets the victory. Hooman Rahimi is knocked out. So again, download the app, find out all the news, updates, rewards programs, breaking news alerts, ability to buy tickets, exclusive games and contests. Download the Formula Drift app now, so you can find it on the App Store and Google Play. So download the app now. As we can see, it looks like Dirk Stratton there in his Corvette. He's getting ready, and he's warming up his Achilles. Lingenfelter horsepower under the hood of his Stratton Chevrolet Corvette. Again, from Ohio. Not seen Randall Waters yet. Okay, so we are finding out what's going on with Randall Waters.
Now, if you remember, Jared, Waters had that damage to the left rear.
Yeah,
I believe.
Right rear.
Right rear, sorry, yeah, the right rear. And apparently he is still being looked at by tech. Once they get into the burnout box there, that will initiate moving forward. So if he is not at the line, he will have to call a competition timeout. Now, we are closely approaching the 12 midnight cutoff here for this event, and obviously can't afford to lose any time here.
No.
So a competition timeout would certainly put us in a precarious position, but it could happen here. We have one more slot to fill in the Final Four. Left side of the bracket, we've got Matt Van Kirk and Brody Goebel. We've got Travis Reeder in this side of the Final Four, and the winner of this battle between Stratton and Waters will go up against Reeder. So as we await on the line, we will find out the fate of Waters here shortly.
Yeah, Waters, he is dead in the water right now, and again, that back right injured wheel, maybe it caused more damage, because I mean that gator strip, that could bite you in more ways than one, and the damage to the suspension and the wheels, and you know, you hope it's just cosmetic. As Waters and his team, we're trying to find out from the officials what status is with Randall Waters, and he is on his way. We are finding out that he is on his way up. So, and we are waiting for Waters. And it looks like there he is.
So just getting a word, just so we're clear here, there was no competition timeout used. Our tech was evaluating the car to make sure that it was safe, and now they're going back up to the line.
Okay, so and there is Waters to the line. Stratton will lead. Stratton qualified second. So Stratton qualified second, Waters qualified 10th, and Reeder qualified 11th. So as it stands, if Stratton advances on, he is guaranteed a podium finish. Dirk Stratton is guaranteed a podium finish. He's the highest qualifying driver left standing. Brody Goebel is after that. So we'll see. Here comes Dirk Stratton out of the gate. He's hoping that he doesn't overcook it. Randall Waters giving himself a safe amount of distance. Big flick there by Stratton. Wow, all the way out there. Getting into that first outer zone, into the dirt. You see Stratton getting out there into the second zone. Doesn't go all the way deep. Waters tucking in that Achilles smoke signal and now brings it home. Nice job by Waters, the latter portion of the track. All right, so let's take a look at it again here, Ryan.
Well, Waters was able to put some pressure on Stratton during, the middle and latter sections of the course, but he doesn't help himself out here on initiation. You can see right here, the only car in the picture is Stratton, who's got a huge lead going up the hill. Now watch Waters, is gonna accelerate as Stratton goes off course a little bit. Stratton does not reach out to this second outer zone, and right here on the inside is Waters who attacks. Now watch this transition back around. He tucks through the smoke line. He could have put his front bumper a little bit closer, but he does it right there. Quick, snappy transition back by Stratton. So some high points by both drivers, a couple little mistakes there. Good battle on hand so far, and we haven't seen the big mistakes that we saw in run number 1 against these two guys. So we'll see what happens here as now Waters will take the lead and Stratton will chase him down.
Waters out front, Stratton in the chase position. Whoever advances on goes against Travis Reeder, our current points leader, but Waters could shake things up if he advances on. Again, he's in contention for that championship. He is in the top 5 as it stands, or I should say coming into this round. This is our final battle of the grade 8. 3 drivers already in the final 4. Who's it gonna be? Waters or Stratton? Waters out front. Stratton gave himself a lot of distance here. Is that too much? Waters takes out that front clip. Stratton. And Waters is on one right now, getting out to that outside zone. Oh, and Stratton goes off course. A ton of dust is thrown into the air as Waters continues through. And Stratton just gives himself too much distance. It ends up not paying off for him. Strategy-wise, let's look at this again here, Ryan.
Well, to make things worse, he actually spins out before the finish line. So let's take a look at this again. Wow. A big gap here established. Now, if we compare the lead runs and the chase runs, you see that Stratton is unable to do what Waters did and close him down. Waters does fill that zone. This is where Stratton goes off course. He really comes unglued here. Now, as the smoke starts to pick up as we come down the course, Stratton's going to come through this final section here, and he's going to actually end up spinning out right before the finish line. But it wouldn't really make a difference. He was so far behind. He didn't really have a fight there. And Waters, meanwhile, while he didn't have the greatest start on his chase, he was able to close the door and keep pressure on Stratton.
Let's go to the judges' verdict. Randall Waters gets the win, taking out Dirk Stratton as Dirk just went in too hard into that horseshoe, and he ended up getting bucked by the Bronco. So Randall Waters is going against Travis Reeder on one side of the Final Four bracket, and on the other, first off, Matt Van Kirk versus Brody Goebel. So as I said, Randall Waters qualified 10th, Brody Goebel qualified 5th. So right now, Brody Goebel is guaranteed at minimum 3rd place. Matt Van Kirk, Brody Goebel. Matt Van Kirk from Washington, Brody Goebel from also that portion of the but he's just across the border in Vancouver. And here is Randall Waters in the IS S14. Travis Reeder. Interestingly enough, Travis Reeder, the only driver that is potentially going back-to-back podiums, but he's got to get through Randall Waters first. But right now, Van Kirk and Brody Goebel. Brody Goebel. 3 more battles left to find out who's on the podium here at round 2. Remember, tomorrow is game day for the pro drivers. 4 bye runs advancing into the top 16. Tick tock, here we go. Lights are out and the headlights are on. Here we go, Brody Goebel out front. Van Kirk giving himself a jump on the competition. Will it pay off? Well done by Van Kirk. Goebel, once again, strong up the hill. Just a little bit of brown smoke goes up. Little brown cloud as Van Kirk right there on the door of Goebel, and back down. The first becomes the last. We're talking about the clipping points. Matt Van Kirk, great composure there in that chase position. Let's look at this again.
Well, we're really starting to see these drivers tighten up their game here. You can see Goebel has a little bit of a trouble on initiation. Van Kirk, like you said, gets the jump, doesn't want to let Goebel get away. Now, he does let him get away a little bit here up the hill. We've seen this for a lot of drivers. Goebel drops a couple tires for a second, gets a little bit of dirt out there, tries to get deep into that zone. But Van Kirk is able to close the door here, and a good transition right here as he comes through the smoke line, not to allow Goebel to run away too far. But Goebel is putting on a huge smoke cloud there. He has good angle, just a little bit long on that last inside clip. So both drivers with some high points here, and we've got ourselves a good battle on hand, our first battle in the Final Four. Now Van Kirk will go to the lead position, and Brody Goebel will chase him down.
Van Kirk, I really hat tip to him on that jump, and he'll give himself just enough of a jump, but not too far back, and really well done and executed as far as in that chase position. Can Brody Goebel do the same against Van Kirk? As again, the Achilles radial smoke filling the venue. See the teams waiting off in the distance. Van Kirk leading. Goebel give chase. Again, if Goebel advances on, he will have a shot at the win, but if he does not, Brody Goebel will still be on the podium in 3rd place due to his highest qualifying position out of the Final Four. Van Kirk out front. Flicks it in. Van Kirk past that front clip. Brody Goebel comes in hot. Dips that front right toe into the dirt. From side to side, Van Kirk now out to the outside zone. Brody Goebel mixes it up, and Goebel taking out that clip, and Van Kirk brings it on back. Oh, and Brody Goebel off course.
Well, Goebel may have solidified his fate there in the last corner of the battle here. Both drivers look very, very strong in this run. You can see they're together right there through the first inside clip. Goebel takes a transition on the inside to try to get a little bit more distance there, and it pays off for a second as you can see Van Kirk gets deep into the zone. Goebel looking for an opportunity here to close the door even further through the smoke line, down the hill here, but watch this, he's gonna lose his bumper, and that may have had an impact as he comes through the smoke line, and it possibly could have gotten underneath, and he goes way off course before the finish line. That right there is going to be the deciding factor in this battle.
All right, going to the judges, Goebel and Van Kirk. Slide of left for Van Kirk, right for Goebel. You have to assume, yes, and there it is. Looks like Matt Van Kirk, oh, Andy actually said it one more time, but Matt Van Kirk gets the victory 2-1. So Matt Van Kirk is going to the finals. That means Brody Goebel gets 3rd place. Brody Goebel gets 3rd place here in Atlanta. Van Kirk going for the overall win, but it's gonna be Waters and Reeder. Randall Waters, Travis Reeder. Reeder got 2nd place in Orlando. Win a set of Drifts wheels. Again, tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event, hashtag FDDRIFZ. That's spelled Drifts, DRIFZ, and enter to win a free set of wheels as ran by Odi Bakshis on his Falcon Tires V8 powered S14. So win a free set of Drifts Wheels, hashtag FDDRIFZ17. See Randall Waters. Randall Waters warming up his tires. And you can see Reeder waiting in the wings. Again, we have a hard midnight cut, as Ryan Sage informed me. Basically, no cars, no engines, nothing after 12 o'clock. So we are down to the wire. But join us over at the podium ceremony just after this. It's right over here off in the distance. You can't miss it. It's up here at the top of the hill, no longer down in the paddock area. So again, thanks for joining us out here. Round 2 of the Pro 2 Championship. Round 3 of the Blackmagic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Reeder wrapping up his warm-up session up at the top of the hill. And Waters and Reeder. The winner goes against Van Kirk. Matt Van Kirk going for the overall victory. And here we go. Waters out front, Reeder in the chase. Ripping in the IS S14. Waters past the front clip. Well done by both the drivers. Reeder not exactly as much angle and not as close to Waters as the judges, I'm sure, would like to see. Out of the horseshoe goes Waters, and Reeder really lacking angle, kind of struggling there to hang with Randall Waters, another driver overcooking it there around that final clip.
Well, we're seeing Waters throttle up to people when he's in the chase position, and he's definitely running away from people in the lead. And it's mostly because I think his car build is so strong. It's not because he's taking these tight lines. You can see right there, Reeder struggles. I mean, Reeder needs that. He actually pulled angle out of the car in order to close the gap coming up the hill. And right here, Waters is just putting throttle down, pulling away from guys, big smoke, staying on the right line. And you can see Reeder right there having some trouble towards the end.
You can't miss the fact that Reeder definitely straightened up big time, leaving the horseshoe, driving out onto the downhill portion. You can actually see the inside left wheel lock up as he tries to pull the e-brake and get it back to angle. So that's pretty much an incomplete from my side of things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was completely straight there.
Yeah.
He was pretty much just driving along and then tried to reinitiate. So
trying to re-step it out.
He's going to have to put together a good lead run right now and hope that Randall makes a mistake.
Might have an all-new podium here compared to Orlando. Reeder, the only contender here that would be a repeat from Orlando. So I think that just shows, Ryan, would you agree that the variety and the talent pool in Pro 2?
Yeah, I think this Pro 2 class has been one of the most fun to watch. Orlando was a great event. We've seen some guys that have really put together some great car builds and then backed it up with some pretty solid driving. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to prepare yourself for the Pro division, and it's a lot of effort to be a pro driver, and this is where you cut your teeth.
Here we go. Travis Reeder out front. Randall Waters in the chase position. Reeder needs to put down a good runner as Waters just going to be dominant here. Oh, and we see some contact as Reeder now continues through the course. Waters. So we got a yellow flag here from the official. And Reeder makes it back up the course. So Ryan, unfortunate circumstance here. One, what's going on, and two, timing.
Well, it was interesting what Lantain piped in at, because it sounded like he wanted to give an incomplete to Reeder, and if this fault is on Waters here, that would be an incomplete for him.
Yeah.
And if all the judges agree with Lantain, then that would mean that the lead runs are going to be judged against lead runs, which may not necessarily result in a one more time. So they're going to have to watch both lead runs here, which it's possible that Waters could still get the win, I guess, in principle. But he would have an incomplete on his chase run, and then it would go down to the lead run comparison.
All right, so taking a look at this, what is going on here? So again, who's at fault?
Well, I feel like it's going to go to Waters at fault, which would mean that if that's either way, if it's the case, you're going to be looking at both lead runs, and you know, according to Lantain, it sounds like that was the direction that he was leading in terms of Reeder having an incomplete. So that would be lead to lead comparison, and I guess that would probably be Waters. But let's see here. I mean, that's just me going off of what I recall from Waters' lead run.
Yeah, so a couple of us put the fault on Randall Waters in that situation right there for getting on the inside of Reeder and making contact with him and then going off course on his own. So here we go with the results.
All right, results are in. Ryan, Brian, and Andy. Travis slide him left, and there is a one more time from Ryan. And Brian says Travis Reeder. Andy says Travis Reeder gets the victory. So Reeder advances on, and Ryan, you said one more time, but if you could elaborate here, you know,
well,
they said
I said
Reeder.
one more time due to the fact that I gave Reeder an incomplete on his chase run. The other judges perhaps did not do that. That would be the outcome if they did not give Reeder an incomplete on his chase run. Then they could go forward with saying that he won due to the fact that Waters made that mistake on his chase.
Or it could be that if they did give him fault, then it would be lead to lead, and they thought that Waters did not have the better of the two leads.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So Eggert, is that where you're at? All right. Well, when we come back, the finals are here for the Pro 2. Matt Van Kirk versus Travis Reeder for the finals. Who's going to be high atop the podium? We already know Van Kirk, Reeder, and Goebel. Goebel locks in third place. The other order we find out when we return here to Road Atlanta for round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro 2 Championship here at Road Atlanta. When we return, the finals are here.
This presentation of Formula Drift has been brought to you by Black Magic, Own Your Shine, Air Force, Aim High, Hankook Tire, Driving Emotion, Balkan Tire, NOS with Complex 6 for high performance energy.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, Formula Drift driver of the Gum Out Nameless Performance GT86. This is our 1,000 horsepower inline 6-cylinder engine. To be able to sustain that amount of power for an entire season, you need quality parts and a very quality team to support your effort. That's one of the biggest things that Gum Out and I have in common. They use quality ingredients that are proven and tested in a lab, just like a race car is proven and tested on the track. Science in, performance out. It's more than just their tagline. Find out for yourself and pick up a bottle of Gum Out today.
Limits are meant to be pushed. It's the only way progress is made. Some prefer to pace themselves. But I choose to floor it. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
When you love your car, you wish you could check on it anytime, from anywhere. Blackview cloud-connected dash cams let you do just that. Your Blackview keeps you informed of status changes through alert messages. So when something unusual happens to your car, you can visualize it on your phone with Remote Live View and stop worrying. Blackview over the cloud. Me and my car connected. Find yours at blackview.com.
All right, we're back as we prepare for the finals. But real quick, let's go and talk with Chris Forsberg as he gives you some clip tips.
What's up, everybody? Chris Forsberg here again today, and we're at Road Atlanta, which is one of my favorite tracks for today's clip tip. Now this is inner clip 2, which is one of the most technical points of the track, because when you come down into turn 1, you got a lot of speed, transfer, go up the hill, and you're powering through outer zone 1 and 2. But the biggest, most pinnacle point of this track is to come into this zone, and you're actually going downhill off camber, your car's unloading, you're losing grip, but you still need to nail this clip. It's right in front of the judges, they see everything. And so that's obviously very important for qualifying, because you need to hit all your clips to get maximum points. But when it comes to tandem, you don't want to be laying out here too wide, give that chase driver the inside edge to dive in and get up on your door. You want to stay nice and close, transfer, push down the hill, and leave them behind. So I hope I shared a little bit of knowledge for you as to one of the most technical parts of this track. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back. The finals are here for Pro 2. Matt Van Kirk. We are approaching the midnight hour here. Matt Van Kirk, Travis Reeder. Van Kirk already on the line. Can Travis Reeder back it up? Another podium, or he is going to get a podium, but is he going to better his second place finish that we saw in Orlando? All right, so again, who's going to come out on top? And here comes Travis Reeder, seeing thumbs up there from Matt Van Kirk. Brody Goebel waits in the wings. Remember, our podium ceremony right up here atop the hill. Come join us just after this. And we're ready to send it. Here we go. Matt Van Kirk out front. Travis Reeder in the chase position. Van Kirk crawling off the start. Was that a clean start? All right, so we are finding out that.
Oh, that is very anticlimactic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it sounds like on what we're hearing from the chatter is Van Kirk potentially has a mechanical, so he may have just killed his hopes here.
So Van Kirk. Wow, look at that, Ryan.
Wow.
You said anticlimactic. So look at this. Van Kirk, he does not have a competition timeout. He utilized it already. So unfortunately for Van Kirk, he is out. That means Travis Reeder will have his bye run here and he will get the victory. So anticlimactic, but look, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to put it all together. Round of applause for Travis Reeder. Looks like this is a victory lap for him in Pro 2. Remember, the action continues, and it's an all Achilles tire podium sweep as Brody Goebel grabs third place, Van Kirk grabs second, and then Travis Reeder will get first place. So again, Travis Reeder, his bye run, a bit of a victory lap. He betters. I don't know what you want from me. Talk to Van Kirk there, homeboy. As Travis Reeder, again, a celebratory lap, endured some contact, endured some battles, and there it is for Reeder. He betters his run from in Orlando to now. So again, join us at the podium ceremony, and Travis Reeder gets the victory. Matt Van Kirk breaks. He did not have a competition timeout to utilize. So Travis Reeder gets the victory. Van Kirk grabs second, and Brody Goebel grabs third. So join us at the podium ceremony. as we are just going to head on over directly to the podium, pass out some trophies. Congratulations to our 1, 2, and 3. The podium is right up here at the top of the hill. It's no longer down in the paddock area where the pits are. Again, the podium is up here on top of the hill when you make your way down, walking down. You can't miss it. It's just on your left-hand side. On behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff, we'll see Laurent Nickel tomorrow, but on behalf of the whole FD staff, including Ryan Lantain, Brian Egger, Andy Yen, Ryan Sage, I'm Jared Dienda. We'll see you guys tomorrow for round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Send it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Drifting. Shooting. Desert. Short course. The one-stop shop for all your adrenaline needs.
Limits are meant to be pushed. It's the only way progress is made. Some prefer to pace themselves. But I choose to floor it. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
You know, at Advance Auto Parts, we have some of the most knowledgeable and helpful people working in our stores. We just thought you should know. Because buying online and picking up your part at the local Advance Auto Parts store is so easy that, well, the most they may get to say to you is, "Hi, here's your part." It's a shame, really. Buy online, pick up in store in 30 minutes. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.